Welcome to the Rock Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin True, and today we're talking about ugly shoes. Actually, it goes a little deeper than that, so stick around. Please make sure you are following the Rock Fight on whatever podcast app you are listening to us on. And Apple Podcast listeners, don't forget, we need you to leave us a 5-star rating and a written review. After you leave that review, tell us about it at myrockfight@gmail.com, and we'll send you a Rock Fight sticker or a Gear and Beer sticker. And also, keep tabs on the Rock Fight by signing up for Rock Fight's newsletter. Head to rockfight.co and click join the mailing list. And lastly, do you want to hit up the show? Follow us on Instagram at rockfight.co and send your emails to myrockfight@gmail.com. All right, we're going to pay the bills, and then we're going to start the show.
Welcome to the Rock Fight, Rock Fight, Rock Fight.
This episode is brought to you by Switchback Spring, the new outdoor industry gathering for education, networking, and business, coming to Nashville, June 2025. Connect with peers and players in gear, footwear, apparel, hiking, camping, trail running, and more for 3 days of learning, discovery, and celebration. Switchback Spring is the new go-to meetup for specialty retailers, brands, media, and outdoor organizations. Mark your calendars for June 16 to 18, 2025. Visit switchbackevent.com for all of the details and start planning your new outdoor industry adventure. Last week on LinkedIn, I posted a picture of a new sandal released by Adidas, and I actually just went digging around on the internet to try and find out the model name so I could link it in the show notes and tell you what it was exactly, but I can't find it. I did find, though, that Adidas has a shit ton of sandals. Jesus, how many freaking sandals does Adidas sell, and how many do we actually consume out there? My God. Anyway, most people I see wearing sandals are middle-aged white guys in cargo shorts and big baggy t-shirts, which makes me wonder if there's like a secret hive of sandal wearers out there that I don't know about, and how can I tell them that all they really need are a pair of flip-flops and a pair of bedrocks? I have so many questions, guys. Anyway, I posted about these sandals because they're terrible, like objectively ugly. And not in a, that seems like a design that didn't just work out ugly, more in a, is this a design from 1994 that they decided to make today ugly? My caption in my post read, Adidas gets a head start on the competition for the prestigious Ugliest Shoe of the Year Award 2024. Now, the sandal itself is kind of a hybrid sneaker design. It has a midsole and outsole like a sneaker, and while the fabric in the upper is also akin to a sneaker, there are designed holes in the upper that definitively make this a sandal and also make this definitively an ugly shoe. If that were it, I probably wouldn't have posted about it, but no, it's the finishing touch of a bungee cord wrapping around the entire shoe that can be cinched down back by the heel that pushed this into the realm of required ridicule for me. During my time as a tech rep at Timberland, I remember that we dabbled in some shoes like these with features that presented like they were functional parts of the shoe, but really it was just a designer getting cute and giving the consumer that is all about technical stories in their outdoor products something to get excited about. Sales reps are often happy to have something different to say about a product when pitching dealers, even if deep down they know it's bullshit, and retail buyers will sometimes oblige those sales reps and give something different a try if their shoe wall has gotten a little stale. But as a tech rep, where there's no commission upside, I would get the raw, unfiltered feedback from dealers and consumers if something was horrible. So maybe I'm a little more conditioned to value style and clean aesthetics that blend seamlessly with functionality. The recent shoe released by Rabbit Running is a good example of this. Overall, the shoe is a little me too when compared to brands like Hoka and Skechers, but for a first shoe entering a crowded space, Me Too isn't a bad play, and there's nothing about the shoe that makes me say, oh, I'd never wear that, which is honestly a great place to start if you're going to pick the fight of getting footwear placement. Also, I'm working on getting someone from Rabbit on the show to talk about this, so stay tuned. Now, all that said, there was a window when Weird and Ugly won the day. In 2009, we got the brand launches of both Ultra and Hoka, as well as the beginning of the peak of Vibram 5 Fingers. Ultra looked weird because of the foot-shaped toe box. Hoka looked weird because they looked like they were built off of something that the Spice Girls would have worn on tour in the late 90s. And 5 Fingers? Well, they just looked weird. I hope people remember, though, how much these three brands impacted the vanilla world of athletic footwear 15 years ago. I was working at a Boston-based retailer in 2009, and while yes, the Born to Run craze was fueling barefoot runners to run around Boston in 5 Fingers, there were also just as many people coming in to buy every colorway and wear their 5 Fingers like they'd wear their Air Force Ones. When it comes to Ultra, If I could make one universal change to all running shoes, it would be to apply the foot-shaped toe box to all of them. Between merino wool socks and that toe box, so many foot issues that runners face would instantly be eliminated. But we've been conditioned that running shoes need to look like they could also double as a witch's boot. The only other brand to figure this out from what I can see in the market is Topo Athletic, which also launched around the same time as Altra by the guy who put 5 fingers on the map. What a weird and incestuous world this is. And what more can I say about Hoka, a brand that started with perhaps the ugliest shoe of them all that is now blazing hot across the board and making billions of dollars. The ugly craze paid off, but it didn't last very long. 5 fingers left as quickly as it came, and thanks to big corporate overlord acquisitions with more experienced design and manufacturing teams, both Altra and Hoka became much more palatable. But the biggest reason ugly won the day? True function. People wanted to run barefoot without cutting open their feet. We have a shoe for that. People wanted to mid-foot strike and not get black toenails. We have a shoe for that. People wanted something that could help them run with their wonky old knees. We have a shoe for that. So at a glance, these shoes were ugly, but they had a story and a proven purpose. And that's why I had no problem poking fun at Adidas. Those sandals were technical for the sake of being technical with no real purpose to justify the cost and impact of making them. Now, I get that if your shoe looks dope as hell, but when it's all those things that I just said and it looks terrible, it's bad form. And all of this is leading to my second nominee for the prestigious Ugliest Footwear of the Year Award 2024. And hold on, I have to look this up because the name is a mouthful, guys, and it reads like an eye chart. Okay, the shoe and leading contender for the prestigious 2024 Ugliest Shoe Award, the Merrell 1 TRL Men's Hydromock AT GTX SE X Mine 77. That's really what it's called. Now, I'd encourage you to Google this thing so you can see it for yourself. But basically, the shoe is Merrell's Hydromock, which is their version of a Croc, that comes with a slip-on Gore-Tex liner. Looking at this shoe brings 2 things to mind, either of which is a massive red flag, and yet this shoe somehow checks both of these boxes. The first is simply a classic. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But the second is the one that I think means the most here, that this shoe is a non-solution searching for a problem to solve. The best outdoor products are mission-driven. What is the problem you are trying to solve for a specific set of outdoor circumstances? And for this shoe, there's no answer. According to their website, Merrell claims that this collaboration with Burton, see, it gets better. This thing is the child of 2 big outdoor brands. It is, and I'm reading the copy on Merrell's website here, the Merrell incubator meets the Burton Snowboards innovator, led by a shared passion and mentality for the future of outdoor expansion. Look, if that future of outdoor expansion is a Mad Max-style wasteland where circumstances have arisen where you need both a water-permeable shoe with holes in it and a waterproof liner, then sure, let's talk about that. But not only is this shoe a sight to behold, there is no real-world application for something like this, especially at $250, which is what it really costs. Now look, I'm not taking shots for the sake of taking shots, as much fun as that can be sometimes, and despite all my criticisms, duds happen all the time. Again, back in my Timberland days, there were plenty of times when something that I got excited about in the design phase proved to miss the mark entirely when the shoe was actually made. That Adidas sandal? Probably something more like that. On paper, you had a functional sneaker-sandal mashup with a couple of design differentiators, and when that first sample arrived back at HQ, there's a collective groan let out that it wasn't what they were going for. Well, but now they're too far along in the process to kill it, so let's put it out there and hope for the best. The Merrell Burton Franken shoe? There's no way that's not a mistake from the start. And that's not a sign of bad designers or developers, but poor leadership or brand strategy. And as much as I want to find a way to put myself in the shoes, yeah, I said it, of those who made this and understand what they were trying to do, I simply can't. There really is no function here. And even if you have found a way for something like this to be useful, there is a better and cheaper alternative. A pair of Echo Lockdown Crocs goes for $90, and a pair of Sealskin's waterproof socks goes for about $50. So for $110 less, you can get something that will arguably look and perform better. And let's not even try to pick this thing apart from a fashion perspective. So what's the so what of all this? It's that there needs to be a balance between trying shit and leadership at brands not being afraid of saying no. If you put me in charge of either Burton or Merrill today, one of the first things I would do is find out how this happened and potentially make some organizational changes. Brands are still so stuck on trying to crack the code on the next big thing instead of investing time and money into making the things we already make better. And hopefully that evolves in short order. Now, there is one defense here, and it's nothing to build a strategy around, because brands need to have a hardened point of view when it comes to the products they make. But this is the wild card. And that wild card is, we never really know what people are going to want. For example, put aside my hyperbolic takes on a product or a brand like Crocs. When I hate on Crocs, ultimately, I understand that that's just me wanting to believe that we'll come to our senses because when Crocs came out, everyone made fun of them. Everyone. We all believed they'd be a fad or either evolve into something more aesthetically pleasing or possibly would just go away. Because you have to admit that if you like Crocs, one reason is that they're weird and different. And for whatever reason, that is what won out. Let me put it more simply. If you were placing bets with your own money in 2003 on whether or not Crocs would thrive and go on to become a billion-dollar brand, even if you adored the product, you would not have placed that bet. Not a chance. And that was for a sub-$100 product that had the potential to cross over into the mainstream, be for everyone from babies to nurses to residents of nursing homes and everything in between. In this case, we're talking about a $250 super technical mashup that doesn't even have a core activity to endear itself to, because its technical proficiencies are at odds with each other. A literal and physical oxymoron. So perhaps these catch on with the Mad Max cosplaying crowd and all of a sudden we start seeing them at Comic-Con every July. In the meantime, I'm calling the race right now and giving the prestigious Ugliest Shoe Award 2024 to the Merrill 1 TRL Men's Hydromock AT GTX SEX Mine 77. I just can't imagine anyone knocking them out of the top spot before the end of the year. And I hope I'm not wrong. All right, that's the show for today. Please send me your footwear feedback. I want to hear from designers and developers and category managers. This is your chance to be heard on The Rock Fight and pick your own fight. What is outdoor footwear missing? Am I wrong about these shoes? Send your rock fights to myrockfight@gmail.com. The Rock Fight is a production of Rock Fight LLC. I'm Colin True. Thanks for listening, and here to take us out is the two-time Rock Fight Composer of the Year for 2023 and 2024. It's one of the lead singers of Less Than Jake. It's Krista Makes, and he's going to sing the Rock Fight fight song for you right now. We'll see you next time, Rock Fighters.
Rock fight.